Happy Monday, everybody. I hope everyone is having a good start to their week. And look, I just want to start off by saying this. What is going on in the world today is probably some of the most disturbing stuff I've ever seen, and I think any of us have ever lived through in our lives. And any person or human that condones this kind of stuff is in my mind, it's uncomputable. Like there's no person, third party, I don't care what religion you are, that is condoning the innocent killing of women, children, elderly, and the things that are going on. So, when you wake up in the morning and carrying this kind of hate for anything is what results in this kind of stuff. Nothing like this should ever happen in the world. And you read about these things in history books and stuff like that, and you just don't even think it could happen. For us in America, think about how bad 9/11 was. Imagine living in a home with your children or your parents or someone that you know, and people just showing up like this. It's the scariest thing in the world. So all of us, I understand we're all living through our own historical times in our industry and stuff, but like hold on to your loved ones, appreciate the freedom that we have today, and pray for all of these people, because none of them deserve any of this, not one single person in the world. So anyone that has family, friends in Israel, I pray for you. I stand with you. This is uncondonable. The fact that there are people in New York City protesting in the streets that this thing is deserved is beyond anything I can even do. And I've told you people all 100 times, I don't watch the news. I don't touch politics with a 500-foot pole, but this is about morals. You can't stand here and preach to people to live more life and not be pro-life, because this is about being pro-people and pro-life and having a heart. I don't care what race, religion, color, creed you are. This is wrong. It's evil. So really, in perspective for all of us, just appreciate every single thing that you have in your life right now. It is so precious that we just take it for granted every single day. We complain about the stupidest shit every single day. Think about how much crap we all hold on to. For what? And just know that harboring hate for any person, place, or thing is what creates this. So whatever you need to let go of today, just let it go. Just let it go. And pray and stand by your friends, the Jewish community, anyone that has friends, family over there. You look around the world, the whole world is suffering. Look at what's going on in Ukraine. Look at what's going on in Hawaii. Look at what's going on in Israel. So, as they say, be the light you wish to see in the world. Look, we all have voices. We all have community. And we all have an opportunity to make a difference in our own world. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that and share that to start this day off. Okay. So I have to put my coaching hat on and put my emotions aside, like I'll ask all of you. But it's, I woke up this morning looking at my kids and just thinking about this. And it's like, could you imagine just waking up one day and hearing boom, like it's crazy. There are people at like a festival. Imagine. It's unimaginable. So last week in real estate news, NAR decided to proactively say, we don't offer buyer's agents commission. You don't have to. So I've been talking about this for 2 years. So I think Susie, Luciana, and some other people, a lot of people sent me a message. Wow, Chirag, you've been talking about this forever. So the day is here. So what I want to start doing is making sure that all of you are equipped for this. This week, you'll all be getting a nice surprise and delight from us here for the people in the playbook. And we are going to be ahead of this. So let's talk about the 2 things that you need to be prepared to answer. Essentially 2 questions. One is, we could start on the buyer side because that's what people are probably most concerned about is, well, how do I justify my commissions? It's how to get a full commission on every buyer, right? Well, if you think about this, excuse me, as a company nationally, Compass's price point is about 1.2, 1.3 million, roughly, according to Real Trends, one of the highest price points in the country. And what does that mean? That most of our clients are luxury people, right? And so if you look in these homes, they're often filled with brand cars, handbags, clothes, correct? So do you know what that means? These are people that pay for brands, services, and things that they see value in. I'm going to say that again. These are people, the first thing I would do to look around somebody's house, like if I met a buyer, the first thing I'm doing now is I'm going to look at their car. I'm going to look at their clothes. I'm going to look at their stuff. I'm going to research them on the internet. I'm going to go on their Instagram and I'm going to see on their Facebook. I'm literally looking to profile these people. Why? Because if they're into anything luxury, then you know what? Boom, got them. Because they understand paying for brand services, things they see value in. Look, the bottom line is how many people have a nice handbag that are women? How many people is like, no, don't get me started on the whole handbag thing. I'm on the other side of this. How many people own something of value from a name recognized brand? Bingo, right? And so a couple people, why do you see value in paying for something? Look, in the end of the day, a car is a car. It gets you from point A to point B. Clothes are just something you wear to go out into the world. A handbag is something that you put stuff in. A service is a service. But what defines that gap? It's the brand, it's the service, and it's the perception, right? Don't worry, Deborah, I got something for you. So when you start thinking about this, we want to be prepared for this conversation. So the gap in that is the perceived value and actualized value. You need to make it clear. I don't know how to say your name right. Mayari, am I saying that right? I'm sorry if I upset you this morning. I could tell your emotions are there, and my apologies. And so when you think about this gap, listen, you have all the stuff you need to be light years ahead of this. Everyone is going to freeze in this. This is the time to realize that it's like, if we were doing this, this is like a call to war, and we're going to win this war against everyone else who doesn't even know how to talk about these things. So if you have not got into our WhatsApp groups and everything, go back to the email, sign up today, and start practicing how to do this. Now, on the seller side, do you know what you're going to have to explain now? Does anyone know? Or has anyone thought about this? Unmute yourself and shout it out if you have an idea. What are you going to have to worry about on the listing side? Marsha.
We're going to have to let them know clearly that we want the most people possible to see their property, and realtors don't work for free.
Yeah.
And you're also going to have a more successful transaction with a professional realtor on the other side.
So, ready? That's part of it. Now, let me explain this to you. When you go to a listing, it is very logical. If I turned around and you said, you know what, Marsha, I know you charge 6%. However, I saw the news. We don't really have to offer a buyer's agent's commission. And can I just offer you 4% and you could do both sides of the deal and you can make a little more money and we don't have to pay a buyer's agent's commission?
Not in Texas.
Why?
Dual agencies not allowed. We have to be intermediary.
Bingo. Now, here's a nice way of saying that, and this is what we need to practice. So if somebody said that to me, I would say, totally understand. Let me ask you a question. Are you looking for professional advice? Yes. Are you looking to be able to share the personal details of your move and things that are pertinent to this transaction so I can help use it in a strategy? Yes. When there's an offer, you're going to want to discuss it and have a plan of action where we implement what's best for you. Yes. Well, let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you're paying 4% or $40,000, and let's say your house is $1 million and they offered $900,000 to me, and I presented this offer to you and you say to me, Chirag, what do you think? And I can't answer the question. Do you feel that you're getting a good value for the investment you're making in commission? Every person's going to say no. Welcome to dual agency. So number one, all of you need to geek out on agency disclosure. All of you. That is the key to a big key. You know, every race is kind of like a dark horse. Agency disclosure is a big one because people don't realize what dual agency really is. Then the other one is go on our platform and download the buyer experience scorecard and look at what a buyer agent does, right? So if you look at the part after the contract is signed, all of those different things, you're going to say, if I'm doing all these things for you and all these things for you, like what, that's double the work. And I won't be your fiduciary. Look, in Florida, they have transactional brokerage, or literally you could be a transactional broker. And some people are going to want this. So don't completely dismiss this idea. You need to know what all the outcomes are. Make sense?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So those are the two situations you need to practice. So you need to understand how to have a buyer's consultation and get a buyer broker's agreement signed. Now, I've been saying this since the beginning of time. I don't know what person wants to buy a home and spend that much money and not have a conversation with someone. Does that even make sense? Now, let me ask you a question. How many people have met clients that want to omit the buyer broker's agreement and become great clients in the future? It's kind of a big red flag, right? I want you to do all this stuff about me, and I don't know anything about you. It's time to draw the line. And this idea of just taking people out because it feels like you have something going on at the years and going, like, get away from this. All right, so let's get into the tactics, right? So I'm pulling up something. Let me see something here. Hold on. Perfect. Let me just... Let me share my screen. This is what we call people's decision-making matrix. So for those of you who've been here for a long time, you've seen this before because we were trying to get you guys prepared for this a long time ago. The first thing you want to understand is, what do clients consider when hiring a realtor? Are they looking for a negotiator? Are they looking for an active listener? Are they looking for your experience? Are they looking for certain market expertise, likability, reputation, professionalism, perspective, or someone that has great technology? Is Compass specific. And then what are your clients searching for online? Amenities, price, budget, location. Do they want information on what else is sold, school information, community information? These are people's decision-making matrix. And this is how people choose agents. So ready? Everyone write this question down. To a buyer, what's most important to you in an agent you partner with for the purchase of your home? It's a great question. What's most important to you about an agent you partner with this for the purchase of your home? I'm going to close this for 1 second. Let me give you guys some good gem one-liners here. How many people do open houses? Cool. You guys want to know a great line for open houses? If you were to work with a realtor, what would your expectations of the agent be Hold on. If you're going to work with a realtor, what would your expectations of an agent be that you could not do? Hold on. If you were to work with an agent or partner with an agent, what would the agent do for you that you're not able to do on your own? There it is. What would the agent do for you that you're not able to do on your own? Now you know how to sell the right stuff. Has anyone taken the time to share with you the home buying process? Here's another great one. Would you see a direct benefit on having a customized strategy on how to win a home in this market? That's for all of the houses, the markets that still have low inventory. Now, obviously you have the Med C and everything else like that, but you have to have all these different tools in your tool belt. Then you have to understand, what is my unique value proposition? Is it that you're a great negotiator, active listener, experience, expertise? And if you have not built a Google business pages place to collect reviews, get started. Yep, these will all be recapped in our notes, and somebody's autopilot's probably recapping this as we speak. Look, for people that are in like $300,000 to $500,000 price points, it's simple. When you offer a luxury experience, it's normally for multi-million-dollar homes into a lower price point, you win. That's why our scripts and everything we do works really well, because when I worked at Compass, I worked out of New York corporate. And guess what? If it didn't work in New York City, like, Irene, how long have you been at Compass? 5 years?
5 years. Yep.
So you know everything goes through New York City first.
Correct. Yep.
And if it does not work in New York City, the rest of you that are everywhere else are not going to do it. But New York is the perfect thing. It's a high-end luxury market where I say this candidly, and this is no disrespect to anyone else. You take a New York City agent and you put them in any market in the world, they will thrive comparatively because there's no MLS, right? And you really need to understand how to show property, how to sell, and how to market. That's why these city agents that are moving to Florida and these other agents, they do really well because they actually know how to be really good brokers, because if you don't do these things in New York City, you're not making money. So take any of these approaches you have here and go through it. And the people in the lower end price points, not to say that they're low, right? Because in my mind, in what world is $100,000 not a lot of money? But in any of these price points, like the lower the price point, the more value this kind of approach has. Do you think who said the $300,000 to $500,000 thing? I think it was Deborah. Unmute yourself. Thank you, Irene. I appreciate you being here for 5 years. Me too. 2008.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So do you think these people that are buying $300,000 to $500,000 homes in Denver normally get the marketing and messaging that says a curated luxury experience for you?
No, they they don't. No.
And that's how you're gonna market yourself.
Right.
Right.
I was just trying to relate to your, high-end purses, all that sort of stuff, to be able to bring that over to them. If they're not used to that experience, right? They've scraped everything together. They're using down payment assistance. No, I get it. It's an experience, but it's for those people who use down payment assistance or their VA, they're not going to be able to pay us. So that's for sure where we need to have that in our buyer agency, that we can ask the seller.
Yeah, look, in the end of all this, it's all about positioning, packaging, and promoting. Positioning, packaging, and promoting. That's all it is. How am I going to position myself in the market? How am I going to package my services, and how I'm going to promote it through words? It's all about experience and feelings, right? So in effect, buyers already paid the commission. It's built into the price. Bill, we want to stay away from any of this stuff, any of it. All right, so let me just tell everyone this today. So in a day of giving really bad news, somebody on my team will be pissed off at me for doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. What we're looking on doing, who's seen some of those emails about some of our unveil that's coming up, right? Like we have something really cool coming. Part of it is taking this and creating a newer version called Playbook Plus that has all different kinds of things. So what we're looking to do is take everything we have and make it all better. And literally, I look at coaching next year is it has to be different than it ever was in the past. If you look at the last 90 days, how much has real estate changed? A lot, right? So coaching has to be a different type of partnership than it was before. I believe fundamentally, anyone who's sitting here making programming months ahead that's not open to changing it and is making all their slide deck, you're going to have a problem. I left these sessions like this because I already knew that something was coming based on all these lawsuits, the timing of the court cases and everything. And I guarantee you are all probably very happy that these things have been very relevant to what's happening today versus something that I just invented like, 6 months ago, correct? So coaching has to be this collaboration of like what we have in end-to-end and done for you system. But then we also realize in end-to-end with all the questions we get, we still need to offer live coaching associated to it. So it's really cool. And you'll see that we have this new, unique resource that we'll say on how to personalize this for every single one of you that's here. So stay tuned. You'll see it, but we have business planning coming up, so you'll get information on that. And look, my commitment has never been stronger to you than ever before. As you can see from today, in just the 20 minutes that we talked about this, yes or no, do we not have the most relevant information that you can take into your business today? You can take any of these questions in this decision-making matrix and you can start converting people. A great buyer's agent's value proposition is just sharing what it is that you do in a way that makes sense and engaging and having the type of experience a person wants. You don't know what's most important to a buyer. And did anyone ever think about saying, hey, in today's world, there's so much as a buyer that you could do on your own. What's made you reach out to an agent? How could I be most helpful? And what type of support are you looking for that you're not able to get for yourself? That's some ninja stuff right there. Do you know how many agents are scared to say that, will never say that? Or if they're not here, quite frankly, would have never heard these conversations. You acknowledge that. And watch, they're going to say, yeah, I'm tired of picking the properties for myself. They'll start telling you what this stuff is. I really need somebody to do blank for me. Look at these autopilot notes. Estelle's autopilot, Sharon's autopilot. This is wild. All right, I'm going to leave the last 5 minutes for questions. Who has questions?
Hey, Chirag.
Hello.
Hi, it's Mary Murphy. Yeah, I've been using Buyer Broker for a long time, sitting down and consulting with buyers, not the way you did it. I've learned a whole new toolkit from you, which has been incredible. The challenge, I think, going forward is that when buyers find out, or well, when sellers find out, as you said, that, hey, the agent can now go and, negotiate their commission, the other side of the commission, and I don't have to pay it, that maybe there will be some tremendous pushback. And
there'll be pushback, but the other thing is, and don't worry, we'll show you how to do this. Look, this is old school. Like if you got the buyer's agent's designation from NAR years ago, not that it's been updated or anything, you're literally as a buyer's agent going to say, have to write into your offer, it's a $1 million offer with a 2.5% buyer's agent's commission, sellers, and that we'll make the offer templates and everything for all of our clients. It's not like a big deal, but like for all of us, you just need to understand, look, we need to meet people where they are, and everyone's going to want different types of representation, and that is okay. But you need to know how to answer these questions where you're not just over talking and everything else. It's not even workaround, Susie. It's just the reality of what this new market is. And by the way, that 25% of commissions that goes to those part-time bottom feeding agents that don't provide any kind of service, this is just going to eliminate people. Don't worry, Mary, we got you. John.
Chirag, first of all, thank you. I've been using the buyer broker agreement for the past 5 years. And most of my clients have to pay up that extra, come up with that closing, the extra 0.5% for the 3%, because everyone pays me 3%. My dad was a dentist, and he told me this great story when I was a little kid. He said this guy came in and he needed all this teeth work done. And he was all in jeans. He was older. He looked really raggedy. And he goes, oh my gosh, it's really going to be about $10,000, but I don't think he can afford it. So I'm only going to charge him this much. And so he went and sat down with the guy and went over it. He goes, oh, no problem. I just sold my farm and my ranch. I got so much money. And my dad had prejudged this guy and said, he can't pay it. Stop prejudging. I know you talked about like research their branding. Don't prejudge anyone that they don't think they can find the damn money. Okay, I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short either. Right? Do not sell yourself short. Don't do it. So I'm going to end on that note today. And look, we're here with you. Stay strong for your friends, family, and everyone else. And look, there's never been a truer time in this. Is together we can always be more. Just remember that. You know, get in the group, be active. There's some people in there like, hey, I have 15 minutes of role play today. People are hopping on that. These little micro actions every day will make a huge impact. If I'm all of you right now and I was an agent, I would be sitting down. I would be spending an hour to 2 hours a day. I'd be waking up early and I'd be going to sleep later, and I'd be obsessed over mastering this. You will make so much money in a bad market. It'll be great. Or you could be like the rest of the people, as my dad would say, it's going to hurt so bad you won't even know how to cry. Pick your poison. You know, either way, you're going to pick your hard. It's going to be hard to lose sleep and wake up early, stay late, and do things you're uncomfortable with. Or it's going to be hard when you lose money. And the second one is far worse. I don't think it's going to be a popular thing anyway. There are other MLSs that have done this. The data is there. You just need to know how to navigate this. And by the way, let me just share this with you. I encourage anyone that masters this conversation. It is the best way to destroy your competition. Hey, that's a really great question. You should ask that to every agent they interview with and see how they can support you and what you want. And they're going to ask him. Most people, I've talked to 100 people about this or more. No one's talking about agency disclosure and the positioning of that and the storytelling of that. And as one of my coaches and mentors, one of the people who built our brand has literally built half the MLSs in the country. I was talking to her around this, and she's like, your community is great because you're a great storyteller and you can teach them how to tell stories. It's all that this is. Myri, you want to just share something, then we have to jump?
Oh, I was just thinking that that will not be popular because there will always be those sellers that they will still offer the commission to the buyer's agent. And then once the buyers know that they are the ones paying their buyer's agent commission, they will be, steered to go look at the homes that are offering.
Don't use the word steering, number one.
I'm sorry.
Look, this is where the problem becomes, because as an agent, you're supposed to show all properties equally, right? And if you don't have an agreement and this one says 0, they're just gonna, and it's price. The problem becomes in this scenario, somebody prices a house really well and they know it's gonna sell in 5 days. What do you do? And this is where I think people need to adjust their expectations and explain to the seller, hey, I'm going to do this any way you want. I'm going to walk you through multiple different scenarios on how we can support you. You pick the scenario that works best for you, and I support you 100%. So do you mind if I walk you through the different variables of offering a commission, not offering a commission, how that impacts our relationship, and actual examples? And they're going to say, great. Now that is being an advisor, a consultant, and an advocate. No one else is going to do that. Because people have to get rid of this fixed mindset.
I can only imagine, yeah.
We'll keep talking about this more tomorrow. This is all that anyone wants to talk about. So therefore, this is all I will talk about. So tomorrow, everyone's going to bring all their crazy scenarios, and I'm going to answer them all for you. Sound good? So everyone write down one thing. Write down what you're afraid of happening the most in one of these conversations. And we'll start with that tomorrow. All right, everyone, with love in my heart, I love you all. Please put love in the world. The world really needs it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.